Chop my money. Money na water. I am rich.
The night he became rich, his mother called his name from inside the ground. The room was hidden inside a beautiful mansion in Enugu, clean walls, bright lights, expensive furniture, but this room was different, dark, silent. The floor was covered with money, bundles of naira everywhere. At the center of the room, 2 chairs. On those chairs sat his parents, his mother, Ngozi, his father, Okeke, tied tightly with ropes, weak, barely moving. Their eyes were open, but they had no strength left. Standing in front of them was their son, Chinedu Okafor. His hands were steady. His face was calm, but inside him, something was already gone. Chinedu. His mother whispered. Her voice was dry, painful. Why are you doing this? Chinedu did not answer. His father tried to speak, but no words came out. The room was silent again. Then Chinedu picked up a small metal bowl, filled with money. He dropped it on the floor. The sound echoed, and at that exact moment, his phone vibrated. He looked at it slowly. 100 million Nigerian nairas credited. Chinedu stared at the screen. Then, he smiled. Everything changed after that night. Money came every day. Not small money, real money. Millions. Chinedu moved freely now. He drove the best cars, BMW, Range Rover, Porsche. He lived in one of the cleanest houses in Enugu, a mansion people admired from the gate. Inside, everything was perfect. White walls, glass tables, soft lights. He wore expensive clothes, shoes that cost more than his father's yearly salary. Women followed him everywhere, beautiful women, different faces every week. His nights were loud, music, laughter, champagne. His days were easy, no stress, no struggle. He traveled abroad, Dubai, London, Paris. He posted pictures. People praised him. God has blessed you, they said. Chinedu smiled. But he never corrected them, because deep down, he knew the truth. At night, when everyone left, the house became quiet, too quiet. Chinedu would sit alone, sometimes with a drink, sometimes just staring. Something did not feel right, not outside, inside him. He began to notice things. The house felt empty, even when it was full. The laughter around him felt fake. The women did not care about him, only his money. But he ignored it, because the money was still coming, and that was all that mattered. Before all of this, Chinedu was nothing, a young man in Saka, small house, hard life. His father, Okeke, worked every day, but it was never enough. His mother, Ngozi, struggled constantly, cooking, selling, managing. They loved him deeply. Be patient, his mother would say, your time will come. But Chinedu was tired of waiting. He watched others succeed, young boys, driving cars, living freely, while he remained stuck. Something inside him changed. He became angry, restless, desperate. I cannot live like this, he said one night. That was when he met them, the boys who knew how to make fast money, Yahoo boys. At first, it worked, small money came in, but Chinedu wanted more. Always more. Then he met the man. The man was calm, quiet, serious. Do you want real money? He asked. Yes, Chinedu replied immediately. The man nodded slowly. Then you must be ready to pay a price. Chinedu did not hesitate. I am ready. The man looked directly at him. Your parents. Silence. For a moment, Chinedu felt fear, but then, he remembered everything, the poverty, the shame, the waiting, and he made his decision. I will do it. Now, standing in his mansion, Chinedu understood one thing. The money had changed his life, but it had also taken something from him, something he could never get back. One night, he sat alone in his living room. No music, no people, just silence. Then his phone buzzed again. Another alert, more money, but this time, he did not smile. He just stared at it. Then slowly, he looked toward the hallway, the one that led to the secret room. The room he never opened again. His chest felt tight. For the first time, he stood up and began to walk toward it, step by step. The house was completely silent. He reached the door, his hand touched the handle, and suddenly, everything he had been avoiding came back, his mother's voice, his father's eyes, that night, that choice. Chinedu opened the door slowly. The room was still there, the money, the chairs, and the silence, heavy, unforgiving. Chinedu stood there, frozen, and for the first time since he became rich, tears fell from his eyes, because now he understood, some money does not make your life better. Chinedu stood at the door of the secret room, his hand was shaking. For months he had avoided this place, pretended it did not exist, pretended that night never happened, but now, he opened it, the smell hit him fast, heavy, unpleasant. The money was still there, bundles scattered across the floor, the chairs were still there, but his parents were no longer the same, their bodies had become weak, dry, almost lifeless. Chinedu staggered back, his chest tightened. No. He whispered, this was not what he imagined, this was not the life he wanted. He rushed forward, untied the ropes. Mama. Papa. No response, his mother's head fell to the side, his father did not move at all. Chinedu froze. Chinedu could not breathe, his chest was tight, his hands were shaking, his eyes were wide open, staring at nothing. The room felt too small, too quiet, too heavy. He stood in the middle of his living room, surrounded by luxury, soft lights, expensive furniture, everything he once prayed for, but at that moment, none of it mattered, because from the hallway, he could hear something, a faint sound, like a voice, calling his name, Chinedu. He froze. No. He whispered, his heart started beating faster, again, Chinedu. This time, it was clearer, closer. He turned slowly toward the hallway. That hallway, the one that led to the room he had locked, the room he had avoided, the room he had promised himself he would never open again. His legs felt weak. I am imagining it, he said to himself, but deep inside, he knew he was not. The voice came again, Chinedu. Open the door. His body went cold. That voice, it was his mother's. He tried to walk away, but he could not. Something was pulling him. Step by step, he began to move toward the hallway. The house was silent, no music, no laughter, no life, just him, and that voice. Each step felt heavier than the last. Memories started rushing into his head. That night, that decision, that moment he said, I am ready. He reached the door, his hand touched the handle. It was cold, very cold. He quickly pulled his hand back. No. I cannot do this. Then, Chinedu. Soft, weak, painful, he closed his eyes, tears rolled down his face. I am sorry, he whispered, and slowly, he opened the door. The smell hit him immediately, rotten, heavy, unbearable. He stepped inside slowly. The room was still the same, money everywhere, bundles covering the floor, piled in corners, scattered like it meant nothing, but at the center, the chairs, and on them, his parents, his mother, his father, still tied, still sitting, but now, they looked empty, their bodies were weak, dry, unmoving. Chinedu's legs gave way, he fell to his knees. Mama. No response. Papa. Silence. His hands began to shake violently. This is not real, he said. He crawled closer. His mother's body leaned forward, lifeless. Chinedu screamed, a deep, painful scream, the kind that comes when your soul breaks. What have I done? His voice echoed in the room, but no one answered, only silence, and money, so much money, and yet, nothing felt valuable anymore. His phone vibrated, he looked at it slowly. Another alert, 50 million Nigerian nairas credited. Chinedu stared at the screen, then he laughed, a broken laugh, then suddenly, he screamed, stop it. He threw the phone across the room. I don't want it again. But the alerts kept coming, non-stop, buzz, 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 as if something was mocking him, as if something was reminding him, you chose this. Chinedu looked at his parents again, tears flowed freely. I just wanted a better life. His voice broke. I did not know it would cost everything. But deep inside, he knew, he remembered, that night, that moment, that choice. I am ready. The words echoed in his head, and now, there was no turning back. Chinedu stood up suddenly. I need to leave. He ran out of the room, out of the house. His footsteps echoed loudly. He reached his car, entered, started the engine, and drove fast, too fast. The road was empty, streetlights passed quickly. His vision blurred with tears. I am sorry. He kept repeating it, I am sorry. Then, another memory, his mother's voice, we are always here for you. Chinedu cried harder, but it was too late. Suddenly, a loud horn, bright headlights, a truck, too close, too fast. Chinedu tried to turn, but his hands were shaking, his vision unclear, and in that final second, he saw them, his parents, standing in front of him, looking at him, not angry, not shouting, just looking. Then, the next morning, news spread, a young millionaire has died in a terrible accident. People gathered, talking, so rich, so young. What a loss. Nobody knew, nobody understood. Back at the mansion, everything remained, the cars, the house, the money, but the life inside it was gone, and in the hidden room, the money still covered the floor, silent, useless, because the only thing it could not buy was a second chance.